The Osun masterminds, a coalition of civil society groups in Osun State, has raised concern over the deployment of some officers previously indicted for human rights abuses back to Osun State. In a media briefing on Monday, Dr. Wasiu Oyedokunwale, Executive Director, and another member of the group, Ayo Ologun, called on the Inspector General of Police to immediately look at the reports of Osun Judicial Panel of Inquiries into Police Brutality, popularly known as EndSARS report, to ensure that any officer fingered for rights abuse is not elevated.
We state unequivocally that 1, we demand that the police and other security agencies in the state collaborate to immediately arrest and bring to justice all known and unknown members of the violent groups responsible for the killings in the state, particularly from the period of the last governorship election in the state and now. 2, we equally urge all political gladiators and state actors to rein in their members so as to engender an atmosphere of peace and tranquility in the state. We particularly wish to caution political gladiators to refrain from the use of inflammatory statements capable of stoking the embers of disunity. 3, while we commend the disbandment of the tactical squad of the Osun State Police Command, we demand that all members of the squad are debriefed and those be found culpable of having been involved in extrajudicial killings and rights violation be immediately sanctioned.
The battle with the decadence in the police has been a running one. The appointment you make reference to is contained in the police circular reference CH5360/FS FHQ Abuja volume 29/40, in which Omoyele and 4 others, making 5, were appointed in different capacities attached to the governor-elect of the state. And that will take me back to number 4 of our earlier press address for today. It said, number 4 said, we are aware of deployment to the governor-elect of the state by police hierarchy. And why the same is in accordance with the rule of engagement, because the police has the right to make the deployment. We demand that the deployed officers be thoroughly examined to ensure that none of the officers has a record of human rights abuse or previously indicted by any panel or body known to the law. And of course, the Executive Director made reference to the fact that the Judicial Panel on Police Brutality, popularly called EndSARS, the report is in the public domain. If you go through that report, I can confirm to you that of the 5 that have been deployed as aides to the governor-elect, 2 of them were recommended for one punishment or the other in that EndSARS report. So it becomes an issue of concern to us that if a legally set up judicial panel could pinpoint some individuals for inactions and infractions, or indicted, because some of the recommendations to in that report, that some of them should be demoted, some of them should be allowed to face the court of law and all of that. If such actions have not been taken and they have indictments hanging upon their neck, all of a sudden you see a sort of promotion in courts, only for them to become the last man standing. So which means people are not safe with them. If you are the CSO to the governor-elect, by the time he's sworn as the governor, you become the CSO, which means everyone in and around the governor is not safe.
Oyedokunwale stated that the state has raised concern over the increase in the state of insecurity in Osun, which according to him has raised tension among residents. He lamented how known actors in this past 1 week have become emboldened in perpetrating criminal activities and giving the state a bad name.
Compared to call this special edition of our State of the State address, given the spate of insecurity and violence being witnessed in and across our dear state, we are particularly moved by the unnecessary loss of lives of both ordinary citizens, non-state actors, as well as members of the security agencies. The last 1 week, you will have noted, has witnessed an increase in inter- and intra-court clashes and emboldening of non-state actors who wreaked havoc on innocent citizens of the state, thereby giving the state a bad name.
Oyedokunwale described the issue as worrisome for a state that has just concluded its election, and Osun has been one of the most peaceful states in Nigeria, and demands that the police should bring justice.
What is more worrisome is the fact that before the just concluded election in the state, Osun has been adjudged one of the most peaceful states in Nigeria. It should be pointed out that no meaningful development can take place in an atmosphere of rancor and violence. As societal watchdogs, we are compelled by duty to raise alarm and call to caution all perpetrators of actions capable of derailing good governance in our state.
In their respective submission, Olufemi Lawson and Wale Oladapo, who are members of the group, said the security agencies should arrest perpetrator and they should be brought to justice. Oladapo said Osun is moving into the direction of Anambra, calling on authorities to arrest the situation.
If the country law empowers the state to have its own police formation, which can arrest and prosecute, some of these perpetrators can easily be arrested by the state without recourse to one man who is waiting for authority to do so or otherwise from Abuja.
Recall that about 4 or 5 days ago, the whole of Fagbesa was shut down by hoodlums who ordered people on that axis to close shop. And it became a point of concern to people in the state that if some set of persons could hold the state or a particular section of the state to ransom, it could escalate and it could become an issue that will be prevalent in the state. So what if some other groups in Elisha say people should also close shop, and people in Ibono say people should close shop? What it means is that we might be getting to a place of Anambra where people will be asked to sit in the houses.
Show me Inside Links TV.